Checking the mic, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Hey, we better get a roadblock out.
Okay, I think we're ready to get kicked off here. First off, just want to begin the day by saying thank you to everybody that's going to tune in here today and throughout the day and even into the evening here at the Backyard Bash. This is our third time to do this, and certainly something that we look forward to every year. It's kind of, when we first started this was actually kind of one of the kickoff sales of the seasons, if you will. Now it seems like we're about halfway through a seventh inning stretch, but we really anticipate this every year. The guys will talk, and we will talk about all the breeders throughout the day, and as they come on. And a couple things I just want to let everyone know about is obviously the offering is obviously second to none. And when you see what there's available here and what is being offered in the pigs that are kept and designated for this particular event, makes it very unique. And I say that because, you know, we only have 40, 50 head of these things every time that we do it, and we don't have many more than that this year. But when you look at the end of the year, how many of these pigs come out of here and feed and do good, and how they've done, it is absolutely remarkable. And I don't think that this year will be any different. Obviously, you'll hear Blake and Evan has described some of these and share thoughts on them. As we get started here in a minute, they can talk to you a little bit about them and what that they see. I will tell you, just so everybody knows, at the end of the evening again tonight, we'll have our draw one more time, just so everybody knows that. So those of you that are watching early, when you get here tonight, if you want to participate in that, be sure to be here with us and be one of the first ones to get signed up for that. It is $750 to be a part of the draw. We will, at that point, we will sell 12 draw spots, and that will allow you to participate in that function here tonight. Again, Evan and Blake Goss will tell you a little bit of that as we go on today. But to get things kicked off here and started, I'll turn it over to Evan there and to Blake, and they can describe what we got here in this year's offering.
Well, thanks, Todd. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We good? Todd, thank you, Donnie, Blake, everybody for having us out, and certainly a sale that we look forward to and excited to get to come to every time. These will be the Coulson show pick consignments that we'll lead off with. Tag 12 will be the one that he's got on the stick right now. That's going to be a game time, stay classy. Hold My Beer 71 Red 7. That would have been the Laird gilt that my brother showed that got along really, really good. She's been an awesome generator for us at the farm. She would have made a class winner at Dallas, a class winner at New Mexico. She would have made Ava Martin's gilt that we sold at Kings last year that cut a swath through Georgia. I like that Tag 12 quite a bit. And then the other one's going to be Tag 32. That's going to be a Moneyline Kingpin. His mom's the Stike Leather Kingpin Salad would have had the 51s there last fall out of Tricked Out that got along extremely, extremely good. Excited about that pair of pigs. Excited to crack into this set of bears and this age group of bears there at the farm. That Tag 12, I see Bob sitting ringside. He's got the big hair down low, so when he gets his adhesive out and his comb, he'll be proud of that one on show day. I know he's a big fan of those kinds of things. Tag 12 and tag 32 from Coulson Show Pigs.
Well, the one that he's on right now, that tag number 32, the money line thing has been very positive throughout sales season up to this point, and I think this pig resembles lots of reasons why. Just in terms of really good proportions, he's good-headed, he's neat in terms of his look. That dog's very good in terms of strength of pasture, and he offers some width, yet he looks like he'll be a hog that can go and grow. I like his maturity pattern. That would be tag number 32. This off-belted tag 12, when Evan posted that picture on Facebook, easy to identify tag number 12, just in terms of some character to his skull and his blade, out of a very, very good sow line, which never hurts. And then you study him down low, the set of his forearm into his body. He's good in his forerib. He opens up tremendously good. I like that pig a good deal. He's as wide coming as he is going. I think in 2024 that would matter. That hog looks like he'll feed. A very, very nice pair here by CSP.
Next in the ring is going to be a good friend of mine and someone who I consider one of the good, intelligent minds within our industry. Mr. Jared Halfin has done a very, very good job over the years. I think just had the Grand Barrett State Fair the other day and just kind of continues to crank them out. You won't find anybody more passionate about the show pig deal than Jared, and a guy that cares about females and cares about sows. And if you study these pigs in the pen right now, you'll notice they look just a little bit different. They're big down low. They got the extras where it counts. I'll be anxious to hear Blake's thoughts on these.
Well, again, year after year, like Todd said, we look forward to this sale, not only in terms of selling them, but just in terms of coming and checking out what other people bring. We've had some success with hogs that we've bred and that we've bought out of this sale, and so we're always excited to be here, and so we're appreciative of that. The tag 15 pig is going to be the first one that I'll talk about. He's the colored up pig. That's an OG sired hog out of a Berkshire sow. That sow in particular is the daughter of the Grand at the City 2 years ago that Evan Hinkle showed that we would have fed. A sow that this is her first litter. We decided to go dirty and try to swing big and make some of these bears. Luckily, most of them in that litter are bears, and this is one of the very best ones in that litter. I don't know how we can make that thing classify or what we're going to do there, but regardless, I think crossbred setting as well. That pig's very good. The off-belted chrome black-hipped pig is going to be tag 34. That pig's a wild time, daylight. Here I am, building speed step 1 for those of you who are interested in extended pedigrees. The pig on the far side, tag 35, is a Pace Yourself. That sow is going to be one we bought here from HH. That's a Next Step Kingpin Dirty.
As Halfin comes to you, we're going to start with this one, Berkshire-ish, if you will, his lead-off. Hey, sponsored by Just for Men, a shot of hustle and a late night. I think you'd be okay the night before the show or before you want to go show him. He's big in his indicators. He's good in his skull. That hog to me is easy to remember when he comes out of the pen in terms of his blade. Facilitates for that extra spread that is hard to get maybe in today's time, and then you consider the fact that he could potentially be a Burke. I think that one's easy to like. Let's talk about these other two. This black-headed thing, man, I like this one. He's got the big limbs, the very, very good in terms of his rear step from the side. He reaches extremely good, opens up tremendous from front to rear. That hog's dense from the word go, in my opinion, yet he still offers it with a very high-quality presence and look from the side. He's moderate. Yet he still looks like one that'll feed. I like that hog a good deal. Now, this belted deal is a shot different, man. He's tight neck with a big arm. He's very strong in terms of his foot. He's big in his blade. opens up tremendous. You know, of that pair, you pick whichever kind you like to feed. I really don't think there's a wrong way to go. If you like them just a little more extreme or a little more outside of the box, I think 35 is probably your guy. He's got a really, really cool look to him, yet he still offers a tremendous amount of full rib shape. Hog that's that tall front and to still pack that much heat, to me, is hard to do. It's a very good trio here. Halfin's got one more coming. Good way to start on this trio of pigs as we lead off in the Halfin entries.
Our other entry here comes in next, tag 14. He's a 33-liter hog, one we've saved back out of our last online sale. That'd make him an OG trumpet little bro. Sal came from Molet.
I would say a prime example of a hog that was kept just a little bit longer that stayed good, which is a rarity as you go through and maybe as you've bought pigs in the last 2 months. This hog, to me, has got a little bit of size to him, but he's got the feature and he's got the chest width that'll last him until March, in my opinion. Hog's got bone. He's got a good skeleton. The kind, in my opinion, that don't go out of style. He's taller at the point of his shoulder than his hip. He's got length from his tent to his tail. You know, one of them deals where a lot of people still think he's maybe a lightweight at OYE, but I'm telling you, we're just now in September. He looks like one that could get to bigger weights. Very, very good pig here that Halfin brings. A little bit of size, but that extra feature that it takes to last the long haul. A very good pig to round out the 4 that he brought. Tremendous group of them, buddy. Proud of you. Keep up the good work.
I think to add to that, Blake, just real quick, this Coba thing in Oklahoma is growing really, really fast and really, really furious. And I think guys are buying pigs now specifically for that day in February. And I think if you're one of those kinds of people, or January, I guess, yeah, it's going to be late January, if you're looking for one to have a good day at that show and to be prepared and to be ready, because we all know around here, if you show up at that one about half cocked, you're going to have a rough day. And so this looks like one that you could absolutely get ready and be a man in the purple shavings there in January. Next up is going to be our buddy CNC. Has had a decent run so far with his little show pigs he sold this fall. His tag 10 is going to be a bases loaded, tricked out, and then his tag 31 is going to be an absolute white noise. Here's Slim to tell you about him.
Yeah, our leadoff is going to be the red belt. That pig is sired by bases loaded. The heavy hitter son we sold premium blend last year at King's. And then his mother is a tricked out me against me. That me against me sow family has been really good to us. In fact, both these bears come from that sow family, but that sow family is responsible for, we had the grand or supreme gilt at the Iowa State Fair a couple weeks ago, and then white hot at Tanner Winters, and then the 5th overall York Bear at OYE last year, reserve and gilt at Arizona National. I mean, countless winners have came from that sow family, but the belted pig, tag 31, is sired by Absolute, and his mother is actually the mother of White Hot at Winter Livestock.
Well, as we get going here in the CNC deal, it's been a rough go for them, so if you would, make sure you log in and bid here tonight at 7:30. This belted boar pig that Carson's on, man, that thing just looks like the kind that'll feed. He's moderate in terms of his length. He's good in terms of his skull. You study where his neck sets onto his blade is very, very good. That's a power hog that's still strong in his foot placement. I think that, to me, is the most impressive thing about that pig. He's got the big limbs, but he's very secure down low. Like that pig, a good deal. This tricolor deal they're going to lead off with, bases loaded, was one of them barn favorites at King of the Hill last year for all the right reasons, and it looks to me like he's generating. This hog is very, very good in terms of his look of quality from the side, yet, man, he's so fault-free at the ground with some extra feature down low. Another hog that's good in terms of his feet. He comes at you square. Looks to me like a pair of them that'll feed, yet they still have bells and whistles. CNC. Once again, they come to town with quality. The boys do a tremendous job, and Slim being the one that's making all these mating decisions, man, he's doing extremely good at home. I'm proud of what they've done. Hogs look like they're generating a very good pair of them.
Hashtag full-time pig farmer. The fish will be served at 6, Slim. Next in the ring is going to be the Hoff-Shelty crew. They're going to be tag 18. It's going to be a whacked-out Hero Visionary. And then their next one's going to be tag 37. That's going to be a surrounded, never before come together. We'll get those in the ring here, and we'll have Chris come up and tell you a little bit more about those pigs and the sow families behind them. Certainly excited to have the Hoff-Shelty crew here.
Yeah, we're extremely excited to be here once again. I think we brought you a good pair that go back to some good sow families. The lead off here, whacked out, be a hero. Back on that, goes back to that visionary Berry 4 Mountain Man sow that made the champion York at OIE in 18 and the champion York at Tulsa in 19. The Calico bear there to be out of surrounded. Man, them surroundeds have been good. I mean, stout features, round-bodied, stout skull. I mean, big arms. It looks like pigs that are going to just be tough and just get stouter every day. I like this pair quite a bit.
This Calico that she's on, man, we had some of them surroundeds at home, and I can't tell you enough good things about some of them that we're going to sell here next week. And, man, they're very consistent, like Chris was telling you. They look like the kind, when you dump feed in their feeder, they'll hit you in the shin and want one more cup. Just that kind of skull, that kind of arm, and that kind of durability. That hog's four-rib shape and just pliability and texture to his body, to me, is very cool. Yet he's sensible in terms of his length. He's strong in his foot. Hog's got that extra stoutness that I think it's going to take at the end. That Calico hog, man, he's so good leaving you. I like that pig a good deal. Now, this Belt one, man, he's a toughie. He's stout in his skull. He's big in terms of them limbs. Comes at you like a man at the base of his chest, yet he stays inside of himself in terms of his elbow and the way everything lays onto his body. That hog has got true turn and is as genuine maybe as any of them we've seen coming and going, and the way his hock sets inside of his stifle, yet it attaches good and stays very square. A good pair from Hoff-Shelty. Can't tell you enough about this firm and their consistent ability to me to be at the top and be in the hunt, no matter the state, no matter where you are. And the reason they are is because, man, they're just not messed up, yet they have extras with feature. My compliments to that crew. Very good pair of them here for the Backyard Bash.
Next in the ring is going to be Mr. Molet. His first one's going to be tag 19. That's going to be an all-out, no moss, Little Bro Tier 1. And then his next one is going to be tag 38. That's an all-out, tricked-out Little Bro Tier 1.
Yeah, this is Molet Genetics consignment here. Sure appreciate the Savage Genetics people for inviting us down. The lot 19 pig, the belted pig, is both of these are out of All Out. All Out has done an extremely good job of winning shows all across the country. This pig, the lot 19, is an All Out, and also his mother is a litter mate to No Intro. She's one that just produces a good pigs every season, and we're really high on this pig. Really correct up in his front end, gets out and goes real well. Got tremendous shape in his top and in through his hip and rump. Just really high on this pig, and appreciate the crew here for inviting us down. The Calico pig we have here, another all-out pig, which would be a litter mate to a belted pig that we sold the other night at the collective down at Altus that brought $92.50. This is the Calico pig in the litter. Another one that we're really excited about. His mother is one of those 11 litter sows, which would be litter mates to Good Magic. All of those 6 different sows have had some tremendous pigs. This is their first set of pigs out of those sows. Really excited about what they're going to do. I think both of these pigs, I've got a lot of faith in these things, so just whatever y'all think on them.
Well, as we get going here, John would be my neighbor, I guess, where we live. We don't have many neighbors, but I slipped over there a few weeks ago, and man, I was so impressed with the set that he had in his nursery and on the wire, and it looks like to me they continued to get better. This belted hog has got to come on with the come on look from the side. He runs uphill. He's good in his edge, just lots of quality. He's sure in his footing, bends and goes good. You know, my favorite thing probably about this pig, he's got that stoutness yet. He's got that lateness of maturity that looks like it'll keep coming. His feet are big. His joints are clean. A good pig there that he's leading off with. In the same sentence, I would tell you, don't miss this calico. Man, if there was anything I remember walking through them nurseries, there was at least 2 or 3 calicos in every pen that stood out. And I remember this pig when I was there, just in terms of his bend and his hinging ability off each end of his body. I love the center portion of his skeleton. He's loose built, yet he's strong in his top line. He comes at you the same that he leaves you. I think a tremendous pair that represent Molet genetics to a high degree. They look like hogs that'll get past 250 and stay good, which is kind of a rarity in today's time. I think a good pair of pigs that he brought to you that look like they'll feed.
Next in the ring is going to be Dr. Genova with Sweetgrass Livestock. Tag 21 is going to be a Bad Boy Boz Struck a Nerve. And then tag 40 is going to be a Bad Boy Aged to Perfection Struck a Nerve. Dr. Genova, one of those individuals, is passionate about the Yorkshire breed and someone who's done a very, very good job within the state of Oklahoma and the purebred divisions that we have of being very competitive in those rings. And making hogs that stand out and stick out. Here she is to tell you about them.
They're actually tagged backwards.
They're actually tagged backwards.
But the 21 is the Barra, so that would be out of the same dam that raised the Sites Barra last year, and then the gilt that we had the year before that was the high seller that's at Coulson's. That sow just, no matter what we breed her to, she doesn't seem to miss. And then the gilt is a Bad Boy Boz Struck a Nerve, so that the sow would have been the Reserve York gilt at Tulsa 2 years ago.
Before the guys talk here, I want to jump in here and say one thing about these Yorkshires. Obviously, these pigs here are out of that Bad Boy boar, and it's always funny. I go on a summer boar tour there throughout all and watch all the open houses, and obviously when we do that, we see a lot of pigs, as so many of you guys do, and unique ones. And there was a Yorkshire boar that was at Schaefer's that come out last year, and when I was there this time, the same York boar come out, and I seen him again, and it's this Bad Boy boar. That's a boar that come from George Watson, and those of you that follow the game much know there's not a whole hell of a lot of that left around the world and in the industry. But in terms of a Yorkshire boar that come out that was as big a bladed and big a footed and opened up, he had a monster square skull about him, and still yet having some appearance and look about him. It was just completely unreal when I seen him last year. I've never seen a pig out of him. These are the first ones I've ever seen. I've seen that boar for 2 years at an open house, and that boar is stuck in my mind every time that I leave there. I told Dr. G, she always says, hey, did you see anything unique? And I told her to use that one. She bred that boar, that gilt that Coulson's and them bought that was at Oklahoma City there a few years ago. Many of you that remember her. She bred that sow, and then the mother of this other one. I think that is a very, very cool, neat opportunity if you're in the Yorkshire Barra game or the gilt game. I have no idea what that resale value is on this Yorkshire gilt or what her long-term value could be, but Blake, I'll be curious to hear what you have to say about that one. I think that one's damn unique.
Yeah, the cool thing about seeing this Yorkshire gilt, it takes me back in time when I used to help Larry Moore. I will tell you that Yorkshire gilts that look like the one that she brought to town is always the ones that out-generate the rest of them. The brim of her nose and the shape of her head, to me, just reads to be an absolute generator. And then you study her blade width, and you want a Yorkshire gilt, to me, that you don't have to sacrifice a lot of essentials to make her have muscle or to make her have width. This one is very genuine at the ground. Yet with that, in the same token, in this breed, she's still strong in her front foot. She still gets out and goes, which I think is as hard of a thing to do in general and travel in the countryside. That gilt to me has indicators that are way more valuable than just a show ring. I think she'll show tremendously well. To be honest with you, that thing looks like a true generator to me. Lots and lots of big pieces. A very good gilt that she brought. This male, man, he's got a big chest, a long rump. He gets out and can cover the surface extremely good in terms of hingeability and just being able to get out and go. He's got muscle shape. He's got length off either end of his body. Sights is bare from the city. Most of you guys that were sitting there watching, easy to tell that he was high quality. A very, very good pig that went on and did very good at Kansas City as well. I think a tremendous pair of Yorkshires. This Yorkshire gilt's very unique in my opinion. I'd say if you like the breed or if you want to make light crosses even, or Yorkshires, tune in to Genova's offering here this afternoon.
Next in the ring is going to be my buddy here sitting next to me, Mr. Goss, and then the Goss Livestock crew. Their leadoff is going to be tag 13. That's going to be a snapback roll call. And then their second one's going to be tag 33. That's going to be a No Stranger Hero. I think that No Stranger Hero was a high dollar bred purchase there that would have originated from the Wilbur crew. And obviously when Blake and crew come to town, they're going to bring good pigs. And I saw these just a little bit earlier there going to the back, and I'm excited to hear about them and to hear about their moms and just hear Blake's comments on them.
The white pig that Shelby's on there, tag number 13, that's a snapback roll call all struck. That mom would have won quite a bit in the purebred influence world, was competitive in light crosses. This is her first litter. I will tell you that the snapback thing has been very positive. That sow line has been very good. I don't know where this pig shows long term, whether it be a Coba in a district or San Antone, to be honest with you. Trying to make these white ones better. Pig's got some neat things. We'll let Evan talk about him here in a little bit. This blue one originates from the same sow family that made the grand there at Denver. And I will tell you that he resembles a lot of some of them pigs in that litter. Maybe they weren't the easiest to sell and the quickest in terms of the way that they come. This pig, though, has got true base width. He opens up extremely good. That'd be a No Stranger Hero, never before. Short bus, kind of get a little bit emotional, pull at the heartstrings, talking about that sow line. I don't know how many winners that sow line has produced there, either for Hoff-Shelty, ourself, or for Wilbur, but it's been absolutely crazy. We'll let Evan talk about these two.
A neat pair, obviously, from the crew and Leedy, and as Blake kind of alluded to on this white one, I've had a lot of calls here in the last couple weeks of guys unfortunately needing to rebuy and to need to gather some of those bigger ones. I wouldn't say this one's out of bounds if you want to try to show him there in March, but man, I think if you pushed on this one to San Antone and showed that one as a Yorkshire there, I think that 13 could get real special for sure. And then that blue one, the sow family behind him, and what that sow family's done for those guys that he mentioned around the country is nothing short of remarkable. I think this pig does have just a little more set down in him, just having fed a lot of pigs from those guys. I think you could definitely show this one there in the latter part of February for sure. But a really good blue one there in a breed that's honestly extremely hard to find ones that look like that and that have a resume for getting to the backdrop like that one sow family does. So good pair here from Goss once again. Next in the ring is going to be Sights Livestock. They bring us a tag 20 there that's going to be Chesterish. That's going to be a Titan burner phone. That's going to be a solid white Chester appearing male. And then the red one there is going to be tag 39. That's going to be a clear the deck Hibachi. Here's Ryan to tell you about them.
Well, thanks to Todd, Blake, Jimmy, and the crew, and everybody, Donnie, for inviting us again. We brought a pair here. The Chester that we'll talk about first, tag 20, that's out of a gilt that we had sold last year. And ended up in Noble and had a good kind of a show career. They actually bred her to Titan, and when we happened to see her on the Bred for Success sale, we were like, we got to have that one back because when you go back behind there, that's burner phone, then on a Ruchin, and that Ruchin would actually be a litter mate to the boar that we sold right here at Backyard to Upper Hand a couple years ago. So very interesting deal. I'll tell you, the entire litter was white. They've got a little different look about them, if you will, to go show in the Chester show. The red one, that would be a Clear the Deck, the boar that Corb raised over at Winter Circle. Mama would be a Hibachi. That would be an Hibachi sow that's actually a litter mate to Seen Enough. She'd be the one that Rhett showed 2 years ago that won a bunch. We did not show her at OYE. I guess you'd say I was being cheap and didn't want to pay commission, so we never even took her up there. She would also be the mother of the reserve Duroc there at Colorado just a couple weeks ago. That was her first litter. This is her second, and she kind of looks like she's doing the same thing again.
I don't know much, but the hog breeder in me says buy this Chester, make better Chesters and Herefords all at the same time, and keep the nuts in him is what I would do long term. This thing has got a weird look, and for you guys maybe that are a little south, state below us, that's wanting to show maybe in the landrace division, I even think his ears are big enough to classify. To be honest with you, this one needs friends, and that's all there is to it. He's got the good hair coat, the good insulation, the weird look, the strong feet, and the square hind leg. What more needs to be said about that pig? I have no idea, but I really, truly think that hog will classify down south as a landrace, and you want to keep him in Oklahoma, show him as a Chester. Let's try to get in that limo. This Duroc, man, this thing has got the big legs, huge in terms of his arm. Yet my favorite thing about him, he's still so in line in terms of his knee and where it hinges onto his body, facilitates in a red hog that looks like it's going to actually have some true spread in the upper portion of his skeleton. He opens up so good. He's pliable, he's bendy, he's fat-legged. Sites did it again, man. He always brings a pair to this sale to me that are high quality. I think these two are no different. Yet he mixed it up this time, brought a Titan Chester. That ought to be a shout out to the world that can show many different ways, I think, across the country. Very good pair of my compliments to him. One of my good buddies brought a darn good pair of them here to the Backyard Bash.
Next in the ring is going to be Gamble Family Genetics. I think they finally got done pouring the concrete on Donnie's barn and got their show pigs out where the public could view them. And I haven't seen these out in the pen yet, but walking by looked extremely good. Tristan and family doing a very good job. Tag 23 is going to be their first one. That's the one coming into your camera right now. And then the next one's going to be tag 41. They're going to be mate brothers. They're going to be Glory Days, Sandman, Wedding Nights, or Wedding Blues, I'm sorry. That Wedding Blues Sal's done him an extremely good job. We'll get Tristan up here to tell you about him.
Thanks, Evan. Well, first and foremost, I want to say thank you for the guys here to give me the opportunity. Travel up the road, only 10 minutes, but I think we brought two really good ones. And, I think there's a couple guys sitting to the left of me here that probably remember a gilt that I took to Arizona in 2022. And this one, that female was really good, and we got her back home, and she's doing a really good job in raising pigs. But back to these two, these are really nice Glory Days on a Sandman sow. That Sandman sow's done a really good job at the house, just putting good pigs together that are real easy feeding, and just get out and usually hang a couple banners. So thank you guys for letting me bring these two out here. I'll let these guys go ahead and run through them.
a neat pair here from Tristan, and I think a pair that when they step into the ring are eerily similar, but I think come to you with some of the good extras that we all crave and that we all look for. I think this tag 23, the lead off there, is going to be a really, really neat one there as we get into those later spring shows. And I think size-wise and the way that these things are built, I think they're certainly the kind to show there in March under the bright lights. They look like they got plenty of set down in them. But I think the Glory Days thing's been extremely, extremely good for several people around the country. Extremely, extremely good pair. We talk about that tag 41, the last one. You know, he maybe isn't quite as moderate today, and you could probably push on that one just a shot more if you needed to go ahead and end him in February and some of those COVID deals like we've talked about with several others. But I think an extremely good individual. The things are sharp in their look. They're good about their lines. They're heavy duty. Really, really good pair here from Tristan. Next in the ring is going to be Merrow Farms, Ross and company, some of the good people in our industry. And I've had the privilege of getting to know Ross, and man, he's passionate about his pigs. He's passionate about doing good. He's not going to say a lot to you if he doesn't know you, but one of those guys that, you know, is never scared to step up and buy the right female, never scared to use the right boar. And I think one of those ones that time after time, just I kind of kid with him, always kind of makes a pig that wins something in the end, and he always kind of gets a hold of us. This tag 24, the Berkshire marked one's going to be a To the Moon Speak Now, and then his other one's going to be tag number 42. That's going to be a Wild Time Savage Karma. We'll let Ross tell you about him.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Evan. I think we brought you two real good pigs that are going to feed real good for that March show. This tag 24 would be To the Moon Speak Now Monopoly. The sow would have been the reserve champion Berkshire that Bray Wright would have showed in 2019 at the Tulsa State Fair. That one raised the second class. She raised the gilt. That was second class behind the champion Burke 2 years ago at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. I think that's going to be the best mating yet on that one. Next one will be the tag 42. That one would be a Wild Time Karma, or Wild Time Savage Karma. Would rode up there to Iowa to Kirk Morgan's, and we would have purchased that gilt from Kirk Morgan. We would have brought her back and bred her first time. She would have raised the 11th overall light cross for the Sites family there at the Coba show. Real high on that one. Thanks for everyone for having us out. I'll let Evan and Blake talk them.
I tell you, Ross, man, he shows up at big shows all the time. I would say for the amount of sows that he has and the amount of victories that he's made in the last 2 years, to me is remarkable. And then you study this tag 24 Berkshire Barrow, I would say there's a reason why. That thing's got arm, yet he's got good proportion. He's got length off either end of his body. He comes at you very, very square at the base of his skeleton. I think that's a very good Berkshire Barrow. Those that don't like to die and stay up maybe a little later than some, he's even good marked. You won't have to do very much work there to the center portion of his body. Probably not sponsored by Just for Men, but he's got the stoutness that it takes in the long haul. I like that Burke, very good deal. This belted barrow, man, he is tight in his throat. He's square in his back, and he leaves you very, very good. In terms of his pin width, his lower stifle attaches to his hock, yet his hock's still inside of his body. A long cannon barrow, to me, that'll look like he'll get to bigger weights, yet he's still got a good look to him. I think a really good pair. There's a reason Ross has been very competitive at the biggest shows. I would say study this pair. Very nice pair that he brought here to the bash.
Next in the ring is going to be Wilbur's Genetics, a little startup operation there in Northwest Oklahoma. Wilbur, we like to tease him, we like to kid with him as much as we can, but he's one of the passionate people once again in our industry that really cares about his stock. He cares about the kind that he makes. and he cares about just the people that feed his pigs. And so really, really big fans of Wilbur and his pigs and the run that he's had so far. Here he is to tell you about them.
First off, like the rest of the breeders, would like to just say thank you to Donnie, Blake, and Todd. This is be my second time here, and I'm excited to be able to bring a pig here, and we'll continue to do so. Last year, we would have sold a pig at this sale out of this 18-liter Gilt's mother or grandmother that would have went on. He was reserve grand there at Georgia National. He was 5th out at Texas National. Was a pig that fed really, really good for the Bridges family there at Georgia. This Gilt's mother would be the sow that we call Dixie there at the farm. She would have been the 3rd overall light cross a couple years back. There at OYE, and then in her first litter she would have raised New World Order. I know a boar there at Purple Power that's been getting quite a bit of use. We kept all the gilts the first time. This time we're offering them all. Again, brought a gilt we really like. Thank you, Donnie, Blake, and Todd.
Well, Wilbur, one of my very, very good buddies from way back when we grew up showing there, and then you start looking at the program that he's assembled from start to finish, man. The guy's been on an absolute tear. And then he brings out a gilt that's a modern day out of that sow family. Maybe question why you would ever sell one of these. And in the same sentence, I would say take advantage, whether you want to show her, campaign her, do what you wish for, or you just buy her, put her on your feeding floor and make money. In terms of the long haul, I really don't think it matters. I'm a gilt hoarder. I cannot believe he's selling this 18-liter gilt. She's strong-footed, she's neat-looking, she's good-headed, yet she can get out and boogie. She's got real bone. Maybe not the hairiest one here, but who cares? She's full from the base of her hock all the way to her foot. She leaves you good. Right kind of maturity, clean-jointed, good-moving. Whether you want to show her on the carpet there in February in Georgia, take her to the bright lights up that hill at OYE. I really don't think there's a wrong answer for the 18-liter gilt. These modern days keep popping up like mushrooms around the country. Man, it's just time for you to pick one and buy one. I think this 18-liter gilt's good. My buddy might have lost his mind. Take advantage of it. He's selling one out of a dominant sow family. My compliments to him on the run that he's been on.
You're not. Next in the ring is going to be our good buddy, Big Bob. And tag 11 is going to be a CKL Uranus, a double down on Uranus. And if you know Bob and you know the quality of stock that he brings and the success that he's had within the spotted breed, you know that every time he drops one in, if you're in the market for one of those, you better pay attention because he's one of those guys that studies this breed. I think it keeps him up at night. Bob, this thing's got the good leg hair, too. I'm excited to hear your comments on him.
You might want to rebuttal. Excuse me for my voice. I've been judging at the National Bear Show with the old guys here a couple days ago, and certainly drove all night, hadn't slept in 2 or 3 days, but I'm not going to miss the backyard bash, I promise you. That's where I get to mingle with my boys, kind of teach them a lesson or two if they'll listen. One of these days they will, but we have a lot of fun. Spotted boar pig here we brought is out of one, and I ain't going to tell you every year this, best litter I've ever raised. You hear that all the time. But the reason he is that the litter is really deep. He's a double up, which is out of 2711. And then his mama is a litter mate to the reserve bear we had there at the city 2 years ago, that Uranus pig, which has the same mama, 2711. So he got the same grandma on both sides. And I know we don't look at that a lot of times, but this is the first double cousin mating I made on the genetic part of it, and that's what I get into. And it's the best litter I've ever had. So the consistency of this litter tells me that that line breeding in that way is what I need to be trying to think about here in the future. This barrow, I really like this barrow. He's got the right maturity pattern, in my opinion. He's not bred for a baby pig. He's bred for the big show in March. Really good front of his blade. He's really long front. And these guys will tell you all the fancy terms and all that stuff. I'm interested to hear what they say. But I'm going to talk about genetics. I'm going to talk about feet. I'm going to talk about build and skeletal quality. And I think this is about as good as I can do, guys. And that thing will take a picture. I love his feet. I love his toe spread. And I like the way he gets across the ring and flexes on a long hip and a really flexible hock. I'll let you guys get the current boost with the fur and all that stuff, but they're going to talk about him.
Well, all joking aside, I think last year we called him the OG at this particular sale. He's like my godfather. When we go out maybe after hours, that's how I refer to him to people. He's got the coolest party trick I know, and he's got a good spot that he brought to the backyard bash. He's got the boots with the fur, as he would say, but more importantly, in my opinion, he's long in his cannon. He's got shock absorbers down low. He reaches off either end of his body. You know, for Bob, this thing is short in terms of his body and looks like he could win a bear show. He's moderate in his length. He's tall-shouldered. He's neat-necked. It attaches good on the top of his shoulder. I don't know what to say. I will tell you this, Bob. This is probably my favorite pig you brought here, and I don't really think it's close in the past 3 or 4 years, however long we've been coming. This is my favorite pig that Big Bob has brought to the show. If you got any questions, reach out to me. He's even got a white tip tail. If you follow that program, they got a white tip tail. They normally get pretty close.
Lastly, Evan's not going to come. He don't like my pig, I guess. So anyway, I want to thank Todd Kennedy and Blake Kennedy. This is my favorite sale. I go to a bunch of them. And I love this sale because it's laid back. We're having fun. We got good pigs to look at. You can buy these pigs and they feed. Man, that's unusual, isn't it? I like this sale. This is my style, okay? Thank them guys. Bottom of my heart, I appreciate them leaving this, let this old guy, me and Molet, come. You know, I appreciate it. Also, more importantly, Donnie and Jimmy need all the credit. They do all the work. These guys, the front guys, they do an awesome job, but you got to have workers like Donnie and Jimmy, so I appreciate you.
Donnie's nipping.
Our next group is going to be our friends from Taylor, Missouri, Heimer, Hampshire's. Tag 16 is going to be a magic box, keep going. Tag 17 is going to be a blackjack, no intro. Boots is stepping up here to speak to us about them. And then we'll round out with tag 36. That's going to be a then and now Crickets Dirty Good. Anxious to hear about the moms here, Boots.
Mic check. Yep. Hot mic. So leading off here, tag 16, the one he's got on the stick. That's a magic box. Keep going, king size. Her mom would have been bred by Hilty. She was 4th out at OYE. Donnie had her here, and then she made her way to Missouri here. But from what I could tell you, was up at the farm there last week when we did a bunch of Walton stuff, and that's an incredible litter. This is just the first one out of that litter to come out. There's several males, several more sisters that are going to make their way around eventually. This is the first one that came out of that 11 litter again. She's tag 16, Magic Box. Magic Box is the buckle up, never before sow from Canoe we had bought last year. That on honestly limited use, and being a buckle up son, we're very, very high on a lot of those pigs and what they stand for. The Barra, or I guess the male prospect there in the middle, be tag 17. That would be, he'd be a blackjack, no intro. Be a gilt litter on the bottom side here. The blackjack is the trace board that stands there at Danners. Actually got to feed several of those pigs this summer and loved the way they fed. They just weren't stout enough as a whole. So we went through there and I dug out the biggest legged, biggest footed blackjack we had. And I think the rest of it kind of speaks for himself there. Then the one we're going to round out our consignments with tonight would be, I think, tag 36, kind of the bigger gilt here. She's a then and now Crickets Dirty Good. Then and now, if you guys don't know what he is, That's the Hoff-Shelty boar that Hilty and Sloan and us would have grabbed from him about 2 years now, I guess, year and a half ago. And then bottom side here is really, really good stuff. The Dirty Good, Annie up on the bottom side would be the same sow family that's responsible for Carol, the same sow family that's on the bottom side of Cinderella. That's as good of a sow line that we've got on the bottom side here. And show gilt-wise, this was the best one out of that litter that we thought we had. And then obviously, life after show here, I think, has as much ROI and upside for trying to make something back out of them. We thought that one was awfully special here in that tag 36 gilt.
Well, my good buddies there from Taylor, Missouri, brought a trio of them, and they want you to know they were here, and there's no question in my mind that one of these three, man, they look like they're built for the bright lights. Maybe we should have sent Carl to put that sale order together. Let's get on this big gilt and talk about her for just a minute. This then and now deal's been popular for the right reasons. Everybody around here knows my love for In-Game and what he did maybe for lots of firms across the country, what he's responsible for. This gilt, man, it resembles so many good things, what that bull represents. Then you add that sow family to it. In my opinion, this one is a no-brainer. She's ginormous in terms of her arms. She's so good in her front foot. She's confident in her step. She's square in her build. Her density, yet she's still immature in the way that she comes to you. Man, she's tight neck, long hip, so good in terms of her movement, good in her edge. I love that gilt, to be honest with you. I saw Boots in the back earlier, and this gilt stood up, and it was an oh my moment. I think that one's big time. Regardless of where you want to show her, I don't really think it matters. She looks like she could go win something maybe next week, and more importantly, with her maturity pattern, it looks like she can make the distance. That is an elite female that he brought here to town. This male has got the full back leg. Absolutely ginormous. Let's drive this male, Carson. This male is boxy in his build. He's appropriate to me. Just in the way that he comes to you from a chest width and blade perspective. His arms absolutely ginormous. He's so good in the upper portion of his body. He's a hog that can reach his hock past his tail and his spine doesn't touch his sheath. He's confident in his step. He's strong in his upper line. It balances his lower line, yet he's got bend to his knee and set to his blade. That hog has got all the extras you want. Man, he'd look good coming up that ramp in March when you start opening the gate in terms of chest and just the way that he comes to you. His initial impression is sure promising. Regardless of where you want to show him, man, I think March would fit the bill on that particular barrow. And then this little gilt that they brought to you, the trio. You talk about one that's moderate in her length. She's sharp in her presence. She's appropriate just in terms of her base width. That, to me, might be the most genuine gilt in the offering. When you start studying the base of her chest and the way she facilitates out of her full rib and into the upper portion of her body, she leaves you with a big pin, a deep stifle that attaches good. She bends and reaches good. I know I'm getting long-winded. I think this trio is absolutely tremendous. My compliments to the crew there in Taylor. I think a tremendous trio that they brought to you. My compliments. Gilts, buy them now. I bet you sell them higher in March.
Blake, I'm just going to add to that as an avid buyer and follower of the HH sow herd and buy a lot of females there. That tag 36 gilt, if you go to the farm and try to buy females out of the grower, out of that sow line, you can't. And that when I saw that on paper, I kind of had to look twice because I know what that sow line's done for them. And yeah, when you really want to buy one of those, you got to come to this little bread sow sale he has in the spring, and you better bring your checkbook. So good set from the Hampshire's crew. I think we're getting into the Savage Genetics set. Is that right? We've got a sounder of them here. It looks like tag 1, 2, 3, and 4. Todd's here, and he's going to tell us about them and their pedigrees.
Well, as we said earlier, it's great. It's a fun sale. It's something that we really look forward to and enjoy. And I think the consigners brought a very intriguing set of pigs there that you just got to see and witness. And certainly want to thank them. We're going to get into the Savage offering, and this first pig here that Carson's driving will be our lot 1. This particular male pig here, he's a wide awake, back on a gangster sow. Think this pig, he's been one that kind of had an eye on here for a while, and figured he'd kind of be a sales starter kind, just in terms of his type and his kind and his build. The guys there can tell you a little bit about him. There's 3 of these 10-litter pigs in there, him, and then there's a pair of gilts there, lots 2 and 3 that go alongside them. And then the 4th pig in this litter, or in this particular group, represents the 16-litter. That particular little male pig, that's a Barra. He's already been castrated, just so you will know. That pig there is a wild side, and he's back on a no-intro sow. And those no-intro sows that Donnie had put together, that first realm of them was extremely, extremely good. The bulk of those are the ones that all made their way to Taylor. One of them stayed behind. She actually was just in a different group, and she stayed here, and that happens to be the mother of this little particular pig here. But this is the first set of them. This is lots 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, we get into this first pen of these Savage ones, and man, these things just look a little different to me. This tag 1 pig that we're on right now, obviously sired by Wide Awake, a boar that has maybe been on as good a run as any boar in the country. And man, I think a pig that just comes to you with so many extras and is so genuine, so stout about his cage, and just good in his chest, and it's got awesome reach and go out of his hind leg, and still yet big hairy legs there to go with. And then they're going to sell 2 mate sister gilts to him. I think definitely some gilts that need some attention, and ones that are going to have incredible ROI there at that little pig sale we have in March, and the sale there that follows it. Then we round out there with the tag 4 pig, going to be the white-legged one. That one, maybe pound for pound, is as good and as big about his ankles down low, but still neat about his neck on the top side as anything that we've seen come through here today. Show bearer proportions all the way around the board, already castrated, ready to go for you there. Extremely good 4 here to lead off the Savage group.
Before we turn these 4 out, this tag 3 gilt maybe not the biggest in terms of the way that she comes to you, but you guys that are watching online, if you want to try to win Division 1, but more importantly, there's a little revival show there in California, and then I think she stretches all the way to Expo. It's never too early, and I bet she's cheaper now than she will be when you have to buy her out of the OYE sale. I would not miss tag number 3, long-term thinking.
These next ones coming in here, there's a pair of blues, and then there's a Hampshire Barra here. But the blues, let's talk them first. This would be lot 43 and lot 44. These pigs here would be out of Scar. That was a boar there that we seen at Belton this last year that the Smiths here in Oklahoma had, and Southern Gold bought that pig. That boar was as stout a skulled, as a heavy structured and hairy as about any white boar that we had seen. And Donnie just honestly fell in love with that boar. Again, this is one of those no intro sows there on the bottom here. I think this is a very, very unique pair of blues. And I know at all of the sales you hear everybody talk about the blue deal now. And, you can say what you want to, but I think the blue ones are coming back. And they're coming back in a vengeance. They are. But we're really, really excited about these. I told some guys the other day, I mean, I'm not here at the farm on a day-to-day basis. Everybody knows that. But when I was here the other day and we went through the nursery, and then when we pulled the pigs out of the grower to move down on the ground, this blue gilt, man, I tell you what, I thought she was remarkable. The longer I studied him, I seen the Barra. That pig, just in terms of his function, his build, his bone, his hind leg, but his extra hair, I think alone just separates him when it comes time looking for a blue butt Barra. I think that's a really, really good pair. Then to talk about the little Hampshire pig there, that's the lot. That's a ear notch 218. I don't know exactly what that lot number is, Evan. He's lot 46. This is out of one of the youngest groups of our Hampshire Barras. He's a Badger. His mother's Star. That was that particular sow there is a litter mate to the boar we have over here across the street that we call Smoke Signal. Those of you that want to feed these Hampshire Barras and feed into the OIE, think that one you can put him on feed. You never have to look back and go. This thing is extra bold, wide, broad, and sound. I highly recommend those of you that haven't played that game, this is something that you need to put some thought into, because it's a remarkable opportunity. The purebred Yorkshire, the purebred Hampshire side of things, those pigs get checks, get to take home checks like so many others that don't get to. Maybe they're at Oklahoma Youth Expo. We've been fortunate in the last 3 years that we've had 13 different families take home a check from that particular show in a short amount of time. So I think that's a great opportunity to take advantage there. Let these guys talk this trio.
Well, we'll start here with this blue gilt, and man, she's very, very interesting in my opinion, and it all starts with her skull. She's stout-skulled, yet she still has that exotic look. She runs uphill. She's strong in her foot placement, absolutely big in her appendages down low. She's so square coming and going. She's long in terms of her hip. I think a gilt that looks like will make a good big one. I have no idea where that might be. She looks to me like one that could be 60 to 70 at the city and about 3 1/4 at Expo, with big time potential in my opinion. This blue Barra got the boots with the fur, the thick insulation, and the big feet. There's no question. Comes at you good, leaves you the same. Long hip, good moving, and a very appropriate look from the side. And let's make it noted, she's out of a boar that Donnie loved, and that don't happen very often. I cannot believe that he actually loved a pig. With that being said, it looks to me like he's a big arm Barra that's long in his hip, appropriate in terms of his kind. This Hampshire deal, Savage Genetics and Hampshires, man, it goes hand in hand. Bleeding purple, if you will, on this end of things. He's stout, he's moderate, he's huge-legged. Looks like he'll fit the bright lights of the city. You buy them as you like them. I will tell you one thing. I think this blue gilt, man, it's hard to find blue gilts that look like that. More importantly, it's hard to find blue gilts that you don't have to lease. You can own that one tonight.
I'll tell you this, Blake, as we go through these Hampshires, and obviously the crossbreds have been extremely good so far, but and I haven't seen all the pigs at all, but there's going to be a set of Hampshire Barras and I'm sure a set of Hampshire females in this sale that'll be unlike any other place. You're going to have the opportunity to go, especially in the South, to see this many purebred Hampshires. And those of you that show at OIE, absolutely, there is no place other than Savage Genetics that is as dominant and is as fired up about raising good Hampshires as those guys are. So I would just challenge you to pay attention today, find you one that's going to get you a check in March.
This one here, Evan, this would be lot 28. This is a gilt here out of the 212 litter, and it's been a very good litter all year. This is one here that we are offering for sale. She'll be in the sale tonight, and as the guys just alluded to, we haven't sold many gilts. We've sold 3 gilts all year. This one here will be available to be purchased. She is out of 345, the boar there that's at Heimer's, and so many of the people that's seen that one know he's probably as an impressive older Hampshire boar as there is. Jesse and the crew had just a remarkable run of those pigs there last year in terms of how they got along. This one here's mother is the sow that we call Crystal. Jervis family showed that one. That was the 3rd overall at Arizona National last year. We think this is a really, really good Hampshire project. If you want to, if you need one to feed for the Texas majors, if you want to go into Oklahoma City, wherever you want to take this one, as they indicated, I think this is the kind the typing kind that you want to feed. You want to put on feed and feed, but her value down the road, long-term value and resale value is absolutely remarkable. We've been very blessed and fortunate here to get along with a whole lot of these things. We don't let many of them go. If you want to buy one, here you go.
I absolutely love the boar that this gilt's out of, and there's no question if you go on board tours, this 345 thing, man, he is absolutely incredible. I don't know if a lot of you have seen him or not, but maybe honestly one of the best Hampshire boars I've ever seen in my entire life, and we've grown to like Hampshires around the farm there, and this gilt is nothing short of the right kind in my opinion. You talk about one that's immature in terms of her skull, yet she's got some width between her eyes. She's long in terms of her cannon. She's strong in her foot placement. She's so appropriate in her step off either end of her body. She's square coming, square going. Her knee lays onto her skeleton appropriately. She has muscle. Man, I think this Hampshire gilt's tremendous. I cannot believe she's in the sale pen and not the lease pen. Regardless of where you want to show her, she looks like one that could be big time. Savage does it again with the Hamps. Maybe not acting the best, but I'm telling you, you've seen her in person, it's a no-brainer. A very, very good gilt.
This pair that's coming in here now, we have lot number 7, the wide-belted pig. That one would be a crossbred. He's out of the 6 litters. You're going to see a pair of gilts here in a moment, but this is a big Indian. That's the boar that's at Brogman's that Josh and Kerry raised. Very, very limited amount of semen was made available on that boar there this last year. And we was able to obviously get some and use. His mother would actually be the Sproul sow known around here. That's a next intention cruel. That's what that pig is. The off-belted barrow here that you look at is a little bigger and longer and greener in his kind is lot 45. This pig here, this is a purebred Hampshire barrow. This barrow is one that we've kind of had gauged for right here from day one. I know a lot of you is going to probably look at him, and he may be a little hard to read, and in terms of his density and his just basically his overall greenness that he has right now. But I trust the fact, if you listen to anything that I ever have to say, and you believe in anything that I have to say, if you want a kid to have a chance to take a check home from the Oklahoma Youth Expo this year, this is the kind you want to take home and feed. You're going to see a sister here in just a little bit that's going to be offered tonight in our lease program. And after you see her, you just remember what this thing looks like right now, because he's without a doubt out of the very best sow that we have. The boar he's out of is a boar at Randy Shipley's that is a line bred ice and Top Gun. Is remarkable. I mean, I think this thing right here could be as good a one as we offer this year. So you take that for what it's worth. Guys, you can talk them the way you see them.
I'll be honest, Blake. I wrote this tag 45 down just when he came in the ring, and had no clue he was a purebred Hampshire just because of his quality and just how good I thought he was. I think the fact that he's a purebred Hampshire just exponentially adds to his value. I'll just tell you, you can go a lot of miles and a lot of places